We back, baby. We back. The NBA is back. Hello, y'all. It's another episode of Section.300. I'm your host, Just Say G, alongside my boy, Alec Foster. Thank you guys for all the support you've been showing us. Thank you for all the subscriptions you've been giving to us, as well as all the love you've been showing on all our social media. So we're back with another episode, and we're glad to finally be back with the NBA and its restart. It took a minute. It took a long minute. It's been since March since we last got some official NBA games.
4 months, 4.5 months.
After 4 months of a break, and now we're back with the bubble and Lou Will getting wings. We are back with the season starting, and games have begun. And I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Alec, just from a broad view, what is your take on the NBA restart?
Yeah, I'm loving it so far. I think the NBA and Adam Silver have handled it better than any other major sports organization has to this point. I think the last couple of times they've had 0 cases the last couple of weeks, and the product on the court is looking pretty good so far. I mean, obviously there's no fans, but from a watching it on TV standpoint, I don't think it really affects you that much. It's almost like we've said, like watching like a summer league game or something like that. Maybe when you're there, it probably feels a lot different inside the arena, but I think they've done a good job to mimic kind of how an NBA game looks on TV. So.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot too. The stuff I have been able to see immediately, like I mentioned last episode with our boys. With that being said, make sure y'all check that one out because that was a good one. But as I mentioned with them as well, I've been working overtime lately, so I haven't had a whole lot of chances to watch a whole lot of games. But from what I have seen, it looks great. The environment still is very intriguing and entertaining, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. So yeah, definitely enjoying it still. And games just started. Games, like we said, games have started, and we just got our first couple of days out the way. What game do you want to start with first? You want to go straight into our Lakers, or you want to start with other stuff?
We can go straight into Lakers. Yeah,
let's go. Let's talk about it. Hey, I got this Kuz jersey on right now.
Oh, you repping Kuz now?
Hey, I had this early on, back when Lonzo and all those boys were here. For some reason, it just seemed like, remember we talked about what we call Kuz finger, or wherever he was, how he moved it. Yeah, back during those days. Let me just go get a Kuz jersey. I haven't got a Lakers jersey in a while. Let me just get a Kuz one. So I got one, and it worked out fine. He's still here, so it's working out.
Yeah, he survived.
And he's been looking pretty good actually for this first game he had. So enjoying what I'm seeing from him and from all the Lakers. LeBron and the boys held on even against the Lou Will and Montrezl Clippers in their first game, and won, what was that, 105, 103, something like that. It won by like 2 points because of that LeBron game winner.
Yeah.
And again, I'm kind of talking loosely because, again, like I said, I've been a little bit busy. So did you get a chance to watch the game?
I did. I watched most of the game from start to finish. And I would say it was a little bit sloppy. I think AD carried much of the load for us offensively, which he kind of needs to against the Clippers because they don't really have anyone that can check him, even when Montrez is healthy and out there for them. I mean, they signed Joakim Noah, but that ain't going to get it done. And,
barbecue chicken.
Other than that, it's like Zubac, and that ain't going to get it done against AD. So AD, rightfully so, was carrying the load. LeBron struggled out there offensively. I think he caught a lot of flack for that from the media and online too. But where he struggled offensively, he made up for it defensively because you saw a much more like focused and concerted effort from him on the defensive end, which is good to see.
Yeah, I was happy to see that.
Yeah, for sure. Especially after previous years, we've been hard on him for not taking defense seriously, but
we were just talking about that with Frankie and them. Like, LeBron kind of lacks sometimes. So to see him shut guys down, there was that meme that went around of LeBron standing in front of, I think that was when the closing minutes, I think it was. Kawhi was trying to drill past him, couldn't do nothing, had the crying face, it seemed like. So LeBron was finally showed up on the defensive side, and we need that. We need that energy there. So
he had a couple moments where he locked up Kawhi specifically. Couple signature moments like at the end of quarters and at the end of the game, like you saw against Kawhi, and then he switched on to PG too, who threw up a big brick, your boy PG. But
hey man, listen, it's Laker time right now. Early in the season, I'll support PG, but once it's time to get going, I'm with my boys. So whatever, man.
Going forward, though, I had an interaction with one of our followers on Twitter, too, about the game. And I was saying I'm a little bit concerned with how we're going to play against them at full strength. And people have said, like, we won that last game against them in February, but in that last game, Avery Bradley scored like 20 points and played great defense, and we don't have Avery Bradley with us in the bubble. So, like, I'm a little bit worried when we get to see the Clippers, because I think we will see them in the playoffs for a series.
So do I.
And I still think we edge them out. Like, maybe it goes 7 and we get it, but I think they put up a really tough fight against us because they have the 2 best two-way players on their team in Kawhi and PG, right. And then 2 guys that can get 20 in Montrez and what was it, Lemon Pepper Lou?
Lemon Pepper Lou. I like that's a cold nickname, bro. That's a cold nickname. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's tough when they're at full strength. It's going to be a great matchup for sure. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Are we talking as Laker fans, or are we talking realistically?
I think just objectively, because as Laker fans, I think we both say the Lakers. But.
I still want to say the Lakers, but I definitely do see that as what you're saying as well. I definitely do see how much of an influence that Lou Will and Trez coming back could make. Also, I think from what the stats I saw, which Morris one do they have? Marcus or Marquis, whichever one they have.
They have Marcus.
Hasn't really done anything yet either. Like, he had 0 points, something like that still.
Right.
I think once he really finds his spot too, he's going to cause some more problems for us as well. So they still have a lot of pieces on the way that can help them while we are what we are, and we're not really gaining anybody because, as you said, Avery is gone, and we're kind of is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know, Coach, about that. That was what we mentioned early on. Just that third piece. We need that third guy to step up. Hopefully, I mentioned Kuz. Hopefully, Kuz can do that because I did see some good things from the clips I did see of Kuz. Hopefully, he rises and as we got on, we talked about, hey, get off of Instagram, get off of TikTok, and get the business, and he seemed to do so. So I'm glad to see his growth, and I hope that it continues going in that way. But yeah, the Clippers definitely they worry me a little bit. I see them and acknowledge the same thing you do, that they could. Really, they could beat us in the playoffs. So
I think AD has to go nuclear those 4 games we win for us to win this series. Like,
if LeBron is who he says he is and who the world proclaims him to be, if AD is who the world proclaims him to be, they'll find a way to get the job done. So yeah, I'm still keeping faith in our guys, but I do see the threat that the Clippers have. So yeah, just gotta keep our eyes on it. Definitely gotta keep our eyes on them. So yeah, definitely good stuff all in LA, and we're gonna keep our eyes there. Across the league,
baby Lakers.
Yeah, the baby Lakers. Who is that? Who are your baby Lakers?
The Pelicans. The Pelicans. The Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart. Those are my baby Lakers still on the Pelicans.
Gotcha. And how are they doing?
Man, it was tough. They had a nail biter finish they blew a 16-point lead in the first place.
Losing already, huh? You give the Kings chances. The Kings chances.
The Kings ain't going nowhere.
Hey, you saw De'Aaron drop 39 last night, right?
Yeah, in a loss. I did see that.
He's still there though. I'm just saying.
In a loss.
He's still fighting though. As long as we got guys fighting still, I'm gonna keep some hope in those guys.
But yeah, Brandon Ingram was looking special as usual. I was seeing a lot of praise on the timeline, which is always great to see because he's a budding superstar. Sure. We'll get to Zion in a minute. But he played well in his 15 minutes of action. He was super efficient. Didn't grab a rebound. Didn't play especially good defense, but he was efficient scoring-wise for them, and that's what they needed. And then they were really sloppy with the ball, like turned it over a lot. And that's kind of how the Jazz got back into the game and let Rudy Baguette Gobert, Coronavirus Gobert get the W.
The man that started the whole coronavirus that ended up beating y'all, huh?
Yeah, man. And he had the first points of the NBA restart too. I was like, ain't that
it's so fitting. So fitting.
And then Brandon Ingram had a shot to win it at the end too. That was halfway down. So that especially hurt because I think that hurts their chances for the 8 seed, which we'll talk about as well too. But
yeah, with only 8 games left and not a lot of wiggle room in there, you gotta get everyone you can get. So losing games like that are definitely tough. Kind of on a different note, just something that popped in my head. It's funny, we've talked a whole lot about Bol recently. We talked a whole lot about Jonathan Isaac, we'll talk about in a second. Amani Bates is on the way. All these little baby KD guys that are popping up, they're really next. We kind of somehow at times gloss over Brandon Ingram. Like he's still, if there's a ranking of who's truly next up in that KD list, he should be first on that list. So
KD acknowledged it too on Twitter. He said number 14 is special or something like that.
I didn't want to go there, not because of what he said, because I do think that is true, but just because was that actually a knock at the whole WNBA thing? Did you see that?
It might have. I think it might have been low key a knock at it because he's probably cool with Andre Iguodala as well.
Right, so. Exactly. Yeah. So I think he was kind of doing it to say, hey, we call guys by the numbers all the time. It wasn't meant to be a knock. It was just what we do. Right. So yeah.
At the same time, though, he has acknowledged in the past that like when he's played against Brandon Ingram, it's like looking in the mirror for him.
No, I'm fine with that part. I'm saying with the tweet and the whole WNBA side because the girl, I can't remember her name, and I'm fucking up. I apologize for that. But
after all
that, see, this is terrible. This is bad. Can we change the subject? I was just trying to say that we don't need tension between the leagues right now. We need all the unity we can get. So hopefully we can get past that as quick as I'm trying to get past this conversation right now.
I mean, I thought Andre was like just trying to give her credit. Like I think he turned on the game and was watching a little bit. He was like, "Oh, this girl's nice," and he just wanted to say that. And then he was like, "I'm fired on." I was like, "What?"
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm already messing up myself without not knowing the names and stuff. So I'm gonna just move past it. But yeah, I know that. But now going back to the games that are going on, do you think that the Pelicans can get that spot still? You know, it's only been one game, it's one loss is what it is. You still there's a little bit of room technically. You think they can find a way?
I think they have to go about 6-2. I think 6-2 would put them in a position to play that play-in game, like for the 8th seed.
You have to be 4 out at least, right? Or within 4, something like that.
They have to be within 4. So the Grizzlies have to drop a couple, and they have to win most of their games. So already losing one, like if they lose 2 more, I think they're out of it. So that it puts them in a tough spot where they have to go like 7-1 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we gotta pull up their schedule when we can and see what they can do because I even though I hate on them, they are an entertaining team to watch. And any team, a lot of those guys that fight for the 8th spot, they all would be good matchups that I enjoy to watch. So if it's the Pelicans, if it's the Grizzlies, Josh still looks great. He's been jamming on everybody still. Whoever gets it's going to be entertaining. Blazers are still right there. And it's funny, I kind of not glossed over them, but it kind of seemed like they were already into me, but they're not. They're still fighting for that spot.
They're the 9, I think.
Yeah. So they could throw things off for the other teams that we're hoping to get there. So, hope whoever we get, it's sure to be entertaining. But, I hope that the Pelicans, as much as I hate on y'all, I clown on y'all jokingly. On a serious note, I hope they figure it out. So, definitely entertaining stuff there.
Something that also plays a major part inside, too, is how much they're going to play Zion. And that's what I wanted to get back to with Zion having the minutes restriction in that first game. It brings up the question, do they want to win? Are they trying to get into the playoffs, or are they trying to look towards the future and just manage Zion and his health, I guess? I don't know. Cause I think if you were trying to win these games, I understand that he was gone for 13 days or whatever. He left the bubble and came back maybe 2 days before they played their first game.
Right.
But he also had 4 months off during the pandemic too. So I don't think it could be a health thing or like a in shape type of thing either.
Yeah. As an NBA athlete, I don't think you fall out of shape in 2 weeks. You should be able to come back after 2 weeks and get back on the court and do what you need to do. So that being part of their reasoning for keeping him out, I guess, kind of throws me off. I don't know why they're doing that. I guess they're saying we want to protect our if there's anyone that's truly at they have a nice nucleus right now. If there's someone at the core of that, it's Zion. Right. So let's protect him at all costs. He's already shown to have injuries in the past. We don't want to risk anything in this bubble. As much as we would love to get to the playoffs, we have a bunch of other guys. If Drew can take us there, if Brandon Ingram can take us there, we'll get there, and we'll definitely take the experience. But if not, then I'd rather stay healthy. So I think that's the approach they're taking, and it is what it is. I'd rather them go full speed. I'd rather them be like the Nuggets and take any chance, try to play around with rosters and just go all in, whatever it takes to go and get in the playoffs. But they're taking more of a safer approach, and I mean, there's not really a wrong answer to it. It's just it is what it is. So
it's just like if they want to win, they have to play more or distribute those minutes a little bit better to where like he's playing at the end of games too, like when they really need him most. Because like I said, he only played 15 minutes. That's like less than 4 minutes a quarter on average, and that's not enough game time for him to make a significant impact on the overall outcome. So like if they're going to play him that much, like maybe play him in the second half. I don't know, but
that's something that always kind of confused me when people have minute restrictions. They just go and play him in the first quarter and like just get out the way. And like if this is your guy still, might not save those minutes until the end. Like this is kind of far way back, but I think just think about The Last Dance. We talked about that a few times recently.
Right.
Yeah, there's a moment early in MJ's career where he was at the end of the game and wanted to play, but they pulled him out because of a restriction. It's like you got Michael Jordan on your squad. Even if there's a restriction, he don't need to play in the first quarter. He's here to close the game out. So save him for the end when it's time to close things out and let him do his thing. So in the same way, hopefully they learned how to better manage Zion's minutes so they can use him to get some more wins, because we would love to see them play in this tournament. So yeah, again, we shall see. Moving on to other things, there was a crazy game last night that I saw. The Rockets and the Mavericks put up 300 points or something like that. Shootout. I think somebody called it. It felt like a kind of like our college football, like Pac-12 after dark, like our Arizona games when we would play some random team and put up 50 points each, something like that.
Touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of them type things. So definitely love seeing that. As Laker fans, who do you see a bigger threat in, the Mavericks or the Rockets right now?
Probably the Rockets. Just from what we've seen against the Mavericks, I think we've gone like 3-1 against them or something like on the season. I think we match up a little bit better against them. I think with the Rockets, they have really elite guards, obviously, and Russell Westbrook and James Harden. And we lost Avery Bradley too. So like on the perimeter, I guess it's KCP and Danny Green and a little bit of LeBron when he wants to check up. On the defensive end, guarding them on the perimeter, and I give that edge to Houston. Where they're going to lack against us is with the size and rebounding, obviously. But when Houston first put together that small ball lineup, one of their first games was against the Lakers, and they beat us. So
I remember that.
And Harden quietly is like maybe the best player in the bubble, low-key, like offensively at least. Like
for sure, offensively. And,
I think you understand me because
I get you.
He's like low-key unguardable at times. So I think they scare me more than the Mavericks do.
Yeah,
plus the Mavericks have more youth.
I say the same thing. I say that because of the guard play and our lack of guards right now, that the Rockets definitely are a little bit scarier. The only reason I can make the comparison is because the Mavericks are nice too, though. Luka is holding it down over there. Kristaps is developing his game further still. Someone who we talk about, we reference every once in a while, Rashad Phillips, noted that. I think just yesterday he talked about how Kristaps is the biggest X factor in the bubble right now. If he gets things clicking out there, if he steps up, continues to step up, he can be someone that throws off everybody's plans right now. Because Luka already shows that he's ready to go. If Kristaps shows that he is that guy that we thought he was when he first got in the league, and then it can be scary out there as well. So, they definitely are a threat as well. But I think as Lakers, that the Rockets right now are a bigger threat. So definitely keep eyes on all of them and hope that our guys continue to step up and can fend them off in their run to a title. So definitely looking forward to all of that for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Now turning to off the court, there's been a lot of activism that's gone on. That was a big part of the potential restart about how they would handle that if they should. Would be a distraction.
Right.
They figured things out. A lot of guys are stepping forward. Every interview, hey, I want to make sure that I start off, or I'm not even going to talk about anything outside of active that nothing to do with the movement that's going on right now. They put Black Lives Matter on the court. They have Black Lives Matter on their shirts throughout the games and things, making sure that their voices are heard and that they are trying. They understand that they are entertainment, but not trying to be a distraction at the same time. And I definitely commend them. It seems like 99% of the league and players and anybody that's attached to that is on board with that. Everybody's kneeling now during the anthem, locked arms and everything. However, there's one player that decided to stand out from the rest, and that was Jonathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic.
Right.
And he decided to not only stand during the anthem as the rest of the league kneeled, but he also decided not to wear the Black Lives Matter shirt as well.
Right.
I guess his reasoning, he had religious reasonings. I think I have his explanation pulled up. I want to read it if I can.
Yeah.
Part of it, he said, absolutely, I believe that Black Lives Matter. A lot went into my decision, and part of it is my thought that kneeling or wearing a Black Lives Matter T-shirt don't go hand in hand with supporting Black lives. My life has been supported by the gospel of Jesus Christ. Everyone is made in the image of God, and we all share in his glory. Each and every one of us, each and every day, do things we shouldn't do. We say things we shouldn't say. We hate and dislike people that we shouldn't hate and dislike. And sometimes it gets to a point where we point fingers about whose evil is worse. And sometimes it comes down to simply whose evil is most visible. I feel like I wanted just to take a stand on. I feel like we all make mistakes, but I think the gospel of Jesus Christ is that there's grace for us, and that Jesus came and died for our sins, and that we all will come to an understanding of that, and that God wants to have a relationship with us. So he used religion as his reason for standing. And
I think the plea for murdering people is a little bit worse evil than saying something bad to someone else. But
yeah, it's not just us disliking people. It's the people that don't like us are killing us, and we're trying to stop that. So he started by saying absolutely Black Lives Matter, but then when he went to his using the gospel as his reasoning for standing, right, it seems very all lives matter-ish in his saying. He's like, absolutely Black Lives Matter, but God said to love all, and it's just like, it seems like you're saying all lives matter without actually saying it, and you're not really supporting what's going on. And as a Black man that doesn't seem to understand, that doesn't get how ignorant he seems, it's mind blowing, especially when you have the entire rest of the league kneeling and like they took all this time to get this right. For you still not to understand it is confusing to me. So
and I would say
we'll see how it goes going forward.
He comes off as a smart guy, but like his explanation was super convoluted, and it sounded like a lot of words to say all lives matter. Like you said, like
he comes off as fake woke. Like he has the right words to seem intelligent, but it's not actually. No, it's not. It doesn't actually make sense. So I was very confused by that, and I hope that someone gets in his ear and I mean, there's a lot of people trying to explain to him right now. He's going to be what he is because he's going to try to block out anybody that's talking to him about it. But hopefully he eventually sees the wrong in the stance he has chosen. I get that he's still saying Black Lives Matter, and that's his out. But again, like we said, it still seems like his reasoning beyond that doesn't actually connect with what we're doing right now. So hopefully he does figure it out.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like it would be hard as a teammate who strongly believes in the Black Lives Matter movement and the struggle for equality to see him in the locker room and see him display that. Like, I think it was the worst part of it was just the not wearing the shirt to me, because standing up for the anthem, like, sure, like, okay, like, either way, standing, kneeling, like, I don't think that really like changes anything other than like you're not unified with your brothers, which isn't a great look. But like the not wearing the shirt as well too, like that's a conscious decision he made to not like broadcast that message across his chest like everyone else was.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? If you do believe Black Lives Matter, what was hard about putting on the shirt?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, plus the symbolism of taking a knee, beyond what we did it for a while ago. Now with the George Floyd case that has taken place, that kneeling has a very powerful image right now. And for you not to want to kneel seems to be a misunderstanding of what is going on right now and why we're doing what we are doing. So we've seen this with many people right now. They still they take meaning, they take what they want from what we're doing rather than what we're actually trying to get done. Yeah. And I think he's someone else that's done the same thing. Michael Porter Jr. seems to be on that same wavelength. He's on Snapchat. I don't know what kind of wavelength he's on. Conspiracy theories about the virus isn't really a real thing. They're trying to control the population.
His hat on, bro. Like I don't know.
His jersey has stand up on the back, and while that could be stand up against whatever, that could be something else. It's just fitting with all the stuff everything else he said, as well as him. He was supportive of Jonathan Isaac and what he did as well. I think I saw a tweet something like that, like I'm proud of you, bro.
Like,
bro. Him then having stand up on the back of his jersey, it's all a wild look right now. So yeah. Hey, you want I'm trying to be careful. I'm trying to be careful.
What were you about to say? What were you about to say?
This is why we don't need one of them done, man. You need to stay in school. Take them 4 years and learn something. My Lord. We need a Patreon. I'm sorry. I didn't say that.
Mr. Mr. Porter Jr. to the principal's office, please.
We took one semester psychology and just took off.
Adam Silver got to Michael Porter quick, though, because that Snapchat was taken down within hours.
Yeah. Get up out of here with that. Can't have that right now. Not a good look. So,
like, all the measures they've taken to keep them safe and keep no cases in the bubble, and he's talking about
it's fake and it's population control. Yeah. Man, shut up.
Population control. Come on, bro. This is an infectious disease.
People are dying. You have currently Towns who's not there, but you have players in the league whose family members are dying from this virus. Man. And you're saying it's population control. Like, I'd feel some kind of way if I was someone else.
And so like airheaded.
Like, what are you talking about? So, yeah. The NBA always provides us with plenty of storylines, and in just 2 days we have more than enough, and we haven't even talked fully about and all his stuff as well. So yeah, plenty of storylines there, and we're definitely gonna stay tuned and be watching it all. So yeah, that's all I have for right now. You anything else you want to talk about NBA wise?
No, we're good. We got plenty more to talk about.
Plenty more stuff from the NBA. Definitely stay tuned. We'll be back to talk about it as the season continues. And again, we appreciate y'all, all the love you've been showing us. Continue to like, rate, review, subscribe to our show. We plan on returning back to our podcast sites, the Spotify and Apple Podcasts and things. We'll return our episodes there and getting back to getting on there consistently. Excuse me. So definitely stay tuned for that. So we appreciate all the love. Make sure you like, rate, review, subscribe down below. And we'll see you guys again very soon. Appreciate y'all. Peace.